since I was a kid, I had trouble with sleep paralysis. And it wasn't until I want to say a couple of years ago that I started realizing that that's what was happening to me. As you can imagine, being a kid and just being terrified almost every single night, not knowing what was happening to you, thinking that your house was haunted or thinking somebody was watching you.
That's what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure at first. So you saw a figure or something standing over your bed? Is that what the deal was?
There were times when I did see the shadow figures or whatever, and I saw the red eyes and stuff like that. But for me, a lot of it was sounds, basically. So I'd be laying down, and then I would hear footsteps walking up to me, and then I would, look and couldn't see anything. Obviously, there was nothing there. But, as far as I know, but, and then, as an adult looking back, it's wow, it's just, you just feel so vulnerable in that position.
Welcome to the 55th episode of the Cast That Ends Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deering. This is the show where I interview bands and public figures from the mathcore adjacent communities. If you beautiful people in chat have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in. I'll try to read them aloud. If you like to sub for $5, you get access to exclusive emotes, as well as access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and other streaming services. If you'd like to sub, you can also get a free sub by attaching your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. It's like taking $5 from Jeff Bezos' pocket and putting it into mine. If you're watching this on YouTube, listening to this in your car, and have no idea what I'm talking about, the show is first shown live on Twitch. Join us every Sunday and Wednesday at twitch.tv/thecastthatends for the live cast. With that out of the way, let me introduce our guest tonight, who dropped their banger of a debut album in transmission last Friday through Metal Blade Records. Welcome in, Capra. How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Hi.
Yeah. Hello.
So tell us who you are, what you do in the band. I guess
Where are we starting? Me?
let's start with Tyler. Yeah.
Yeah, let's start with Tyler.
Hey, I'm Tyler. I play guitar in Capra.
Jeremy.
I'm Jeremy. I play drums in Capra.
My name is Ben, and I play bass in Capra.
I'm Crow, and I'm vocals for Capra.
Well, that was an amazing intro. Hopefully we stay on the rails. Is your name really Crow, or is that a nickname?
It's the realest name I have, son.
Is it really? It's what your parents gave you?
So my parents call me.
Really? Okay. Alrighty, interesting. I looked up what Capra means. Apparently it's either a goat or someone that looks like a goat. And I've heard some odd names, but that one's a bit out there. So how did the band get named that?
Tyler?
Yeah, I came up with this. I'm a huge Dark Souls fan. So if you play Dark Souls 1, there's a part in the game, I think it's the third boss you get to, and it's the Capra Demon. And you have to go into this really small room and fight this giant goat with two swords, and he's got two dogs with him as well. And it's like an intense boss fight. And that pretty much summed up how our shows are. So I just went with the name. We decided on Capra.
It just shows you just summon this goat demon that's got, dogs next to him and stuff. That's how your shows go down?
Totally. It's like walking into this really small room and then getting your ass kicked over and over again, and you got to respawn, come back in.
Okay.
It's a lot nerdier than what you made it. It's a lot nerdy.
It's just a little nerdy. It's all good though.
It's cool.
It's cooler than it sounds, man.
It's a cool name. I think I like the way it sounds. It's just got a weird meaning to it. So that's why we brought it up.
That's right.
So the band started in 2015. You guys dropped a couple EPs, which are mostly demos for In Transmission. You had a couple member changes, which saw Ben and Crow coming in 2018. How did y'all solidify this lineup? How'd y'all meet each other?
So Jeremy and I have known each other forever. We played in 8 or 9 bands together. And then we were all in the same music scene. We were all playing in our own various different bands. And after we lost our last bass player to a teaching job, we got Ben. Ben came in, and so he's a librarian. So we went from teacher to librarian, and I don't think it was that much longer that we got Crow. I think we got Crow in early 2018, and it's been uphill ever since.
Yeah, it's kind of like we've all played shows together in different bands, and it's a small enough town where most of the musicians know each other, so it's kind of like all right, we gotta start a band. Let me hit up so and so from whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
Basically.
So I just lost. Okay, so y'all did an EP with Torture Ships and Paper Tongues on it. Just again, more demos for In Transmission. And now you're signed to Metal Blade and Blacklight Media and dropped your absolutely awesome debut and In Transmission. Like seriously, you guys killed it. The mix of chaotic hardcore with some metallic hardcore parts and screamo. It's so freaking good. It's got a lot of mosh potential, especially. I feel like your mosh pits have to be insane at your shows. So I was just wondering what percentage of your audience goes to the hospital either during or after the show. And do you stage ambulances outside of the venue just in case?
That's funny. That's funny that you say that. We did play a show, I think in 2018, and a kid broke his wrist and had a concussion, and they did take him away. Like people in the crowd carried him out, and he did go out in an ambulance, and it was so cool. He was so happy, and we gave him some. We gave him some merch.
Right? Yeah, we gave him
the next show.
We gave him a T-shirt, and he showed up at the next show with a cast. It was incredible.
That's amazing. So what are the influences going into this album?
a lot.
There's so much.
Yeah, there's way too many.
And it's different for each of us too. We've got our own like individual like driving forces as well.
Right.
Just name off a couple bands.
For me, it would be Every Time I Die, Converge, and Comeback Kid. I think those are my top three when writing guitar parts for the
Y'all
band.
do get a lot of comparisons to Every Time I Die. I see that in like every review I read of y'all.
Yeah, that's a good thing, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to be one of the riff masters like Jordan Buckley and Andy Williams. So it's good to be in the, in a boat that's kind of close to their boat. We're not in the same boat, but like I can see their boat.
His boat's towing your boat.
His boat is towing this boat. That's right.
Yeah, for me, it's more like a melodic hardcore, like Kid Dynamite and old school punk. So, like Black Flag, Descendants, stuff like that. Like that's kind of where a lot of my influences are coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge Black Flag is a huge one of mine too. Henry Rollins is like a huge inspiration to me, not just like vocally, but also as far as his writing. And then I'm a big fan of Janis Joplin, like as far as her delivery and emotion, huge influence on me. And then Municipal Waste is another one of my favorites, and they kind of shape the more like I want to say like less emotional parts of my writing and more like straightforward, I guess, if that makes any sense.
No, yeah, it makes total sense. Your lyrics are very to the point, and that I really like that. Actually, I really
That's what I'm going for. I'm trying.
What about you, Jeremy?
Probably about the same as Tyler. Every Time I Die, Converge, Old Poison the Well, just like that early 2000s hardcore stuff that I just like never like moved on from. Like I've listened to so many different genres and grown as a musician, but I've always come back to that.
Okay. So you guys had the demos up for this, like I said, back in like 2015. So I assume y'all have been spending like 5 years on this album, then, right?
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time on it. We actually wrote Medusa and Samurai Carry back in like 2016, 2017. And it was just two of those songs that we wanted to hold on to. We knew that they had power to it. And when Crow came in and redid the lyrics for it, it just made it that much more powerful.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
What was the writing process like? Is someone mainly directing it, or you guys just bringing in whatever and seeing if it sticks?
I think I bring in like between 1,000 and 2,000 riffs per practice. A day? Yeah. So I'm constantly like sending videos and sending audio and like, hey, here's a new song. And they got to tell me to shut up sometimes and stop writing music, but I can't. So typically I come in with a bunch of riffs. Ben and Jeremy and I will hash it out, and then Crow will come and put some killer lyrics to it.
Yeah.
For this album, you guys had Jai Benoit recording it. mixed by Taylor Young, and mastered by Brad Boatwright. Dude, everybody goes to Brad Boatwright. Like,
He's the man.
He is the man. He's on freaking everything. What was the recording process like? Like, how was it working with these people?
Jai's killer, man. Like, we recorded this album with it. We recorded a small EP before with him. Like, he's a really good guy. He's in a bunch of cool bands around town too. Like, he's a singer of Golgotha and the drummer for Father Rust. Both great acts.
Yeah, it was a fun process. We initially, before quarantine and COVID hit and all that, we all went in. I think we recorded 8 songs with him, had him mix and master it. This was before Metal Blade. And after we got approached by Metal Blade, we went in and recorded 3 more songs. Mutt, Deadbeat Assailant, and Transfiguration, all separately, social distance and stuff like that. And then we had it remixed by Taylor Young and mastered by Brad, which you can hear on the EP is the mix of Jai Benoit instead. So the remix and master is on the album.
The album mix and master is so much better. Like, I am so glad that y'all went through those other guys to mix.
Yeah, Taylor made it. Taylor made it big, for sure.
Yeah, he did a great job. I'm really, really.
Kind of makes it a little fresh too. Instead of just having the same 2 tracks, you can kind of hear them again in a different light.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What was it like having to go in one after the other recording during COVID?
It was weird. It's hard to do when you're listening to people record and then you can have fresh ideas on the spot. It's hard when you don't have that.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like how most bands do it that I've seen is that the guitar player and the drummer will play together, and then the drummer comes in and fixes up his drums after the guitar lays it down, or the other way around. So, but like the point is that the drummer and guitarist are usually there for at least the first like track or 2. So, how did that work out? Like, how do you record like either the drums or the guitar first, whichever one comes first?
Well, Jeremy and I did go in together to do the initial like timing of it, and then I recorded the scratch tracks, and then Jeremy came in and recorded the drums to that, and then I went back and redid my guitars.
Seems like a really weird experience to go through.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but we kind of end up doing it the same as we did prior, where Tyler would sit there and he'd be like, hey, what's the timing of this? So we can get the BPMs and get a metronome and figure the BPMs out. And he'll play that riff, and then we'll map out a whole song like that with the engineer. And he clocks it all in his computer, like the BPMs and time changes. And Tyler would go and scratch track it. And then I come in and then lay my drums over that.
Nice. So I assume this took way longer than any 3 tracks from before, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely took. It did. Yeah,
I mean,
we
not
knocked
for me.
out.
I just went in and did it all in one day.
I think we knocked out. I mean, we still did it relatively quick, but we knocked out all 8 songs in about almost the same time as those 3, just to get everybody into the studio, I think.
Well, that's probably because they're newer, and the other ones were like, man, you need like kind of like the back of your hand, and these we had just written right before we recorded them.
Right.
Yeah. So that was a little different.
And we had a little bit of a deadline too, so we were trying to get it to Metal Blade as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound like y'all were rushing that at all. Like, those sound amazing.
Not really.
Yeah.
No. We stayed on top of like all of our scheduled itinerary stuff for the past 6 months, so it's been a lot of work, but it'd be a lot crazy if we were touring before the record came out.
Right.
Trying to do that on the road would have been a nightmare.
One of my
Yeah, we had a tour planned, and if that would have happened, I don't know that we would have had these 3 songs on the album. So it's kind of a blessing. Also, kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
Speaking of touring, Sweaty Yeti 42 in the chat, it says, when is the tour and who will it be with?
Oof.
So we're planning a tour. We're trying to do something in October and November. I think it's just going to be us. I'm not too sure on the final. There's no final details on it yet, but I think we're just going to travel out and do. Right now, it's looking at like 23 shows up the East Coast.
You're really not going to go with
So I think
anybody?
that's-
Y'all just going to be by yourselves?
We're gonna see.
I think
right
so.
now, it's still up in the air.
Oh,
Right.
alrighty.
There's some things going on that we don't even know behind the scenes with the label and the booking agency. So we'll find out soon enough.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it wouldn't be something that we could announce right now anyway.
Definitely.
Yeah.
One of my favorite aspects of the music is absolutely
Sorry.
Crow's. Oh, you're good. You're good. One of my favorite aspects of your music is absolutely Crow's vocals. It's more of like the yelling kind of scream. I mean, you can understand most of the lyrics without having to read them, which is not a thing that really happens. But it's at the same time of it being so like legible, it's so freaking intense. And I feel like most people can't pull off being legible and being really intense at the same time. But yeah, your lyrics are also incredible. I love the stripped down bare approach of the lyrics, no flowery imagery or having to pull out the freaking dictionary or anything like that. I wanted to read one little bit from Red Guillotine. I'm bad at being a woman because I want to listen to because I won't want to listen to lack of conviction, and now I'm a bitch because I don't like it when you stare. We say they can't help it, the average man's a lecher, and because of their weakness, it's my job to surrender. Can't leave my house alone if darkness has started to fall. They're not in control of their bodies, and somehow that's my fault. Fucking go off! It's amazing, dude. I was reading this along to the album because I do that my first pass through on most of the albums, and oh my god, when I read that, I was like, dude, that is amazing. Like,
Thank you.
Because it's so raw, and it totally feels like it's coming from a place that's like real to you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Yeah.
is this like all stuff that you really experience, or is this more like telling stories?
Well, yeah. I mean, definitely, it's like I don't know. I mean, it's just life, you know. For me, it's like as a woman, this is something that I go through every single day, and I think that a lot of people just don't consider how real that is. And it's not just me; it's like every other woman alive. You know what I mean? But it's something that we kind of get to a point where we start to convince ourselves that we're okay with it or that we're complacent with it, just because it's something we're so used to at this point. But I think what I'm just trying to tell people is like, you don't have to accept it. Like, it's okay to be mad about it. It's okay to say something about it, and it's okay to fight back. Also, sorry,
Jeremy,
but I'm hearing a...
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jeremy, you got
Okay.
something going on your end, bud. Like some kind of sound. I don't know if it's the speakers maybe coming back, but it's not doing when I'm talking. But yeah, I don't know if you have
Yeah,
a
I
sound
noticed
playing.
something going off right here. I don't know.
Mute the microphone when you're not talking.
Or you
He's
can
on
just grab
YouTube.
headphones.
But yeah, is there any lyrics that are like super close to your heart?
Um,
Or are they
Yeah,
they're all
mean-
your babies? It's kind of like trying to pick
oh,
which
as
kid's
far
your
as
favorite,
like
right?
within each song, actually, I think that I'd probably say that probably Locust Preacher is like, as far as the lyrical content is most I'm most proud of, I guess.
Dude, the beginning of that song, it's so, I don't know, it's like iconic. I don't know if it's because I've heard it a million times, but it'll just like come on in my car. I'm just like, fuck, that's so good. There's
It's a little creepy.
Everything in the beginning of that is so good.
Thank you.
Another one of my favorites, I didn't write it down, so I know I'm going to get it wrong, but it's in the song right after that, and it's talking about being chained like a dog and taking kick after kick after kick.
Yeah.
That one is a fucking banger, man. Oh, they're all bangers, but oh my god, dude. It's just amazing.
Thank you.
All of the lyrics are super great. Some of them have uplifting anthems like Torture Ships, and some of them deal with depression like Samurai Carry. And what's up with that name, by the way? Because all the other ones are super serious names, but Samurai Carry, where'd that come from?
Dude, that's talent responsibility.
Yeah,
Too cool not to use, right?
right.
God.
I think
gotta use it.
I think it was 2017. We were on like a Texas run, and it's one of those things that just popped into my head. And then I thought about like naming a side project that or something. I was like, oh, what a cool band name Samurai Carry would be. And then we wrote that song, and it was like, it was only fitting that we use that. It would just been a missed opportunity had we not used it.
So it's supposed to be Mariah Carey as a samurai?
Yes.
Has
Yes.
nothing to do with the lyrical content.
Oh, she's
No,
a
it has
badass woman,
nothing
right?
to
Like
do-
she's got this samurai. She's a badass woman.
Yeah,
right?
Mariah Carey rules, and she's a samurai.
Oh my god.
Sweaty Yeti agrees in the chat. It's a fucking dope song name is what he says.
Thank you, Sweaty Yeti.
The Game
Thank
Case
you,
show
Sweaty
says
Yeti.
new album's amazing. Love it. Can't wait to get my flag.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Lots of love in chat's actually happening right.
Awesome.
So who did your artwork? I got it up on stream right now too. Oh, just
Yeah, the artwork was done by our good friend Ben Fruit. And I actually met him, another nerdy thing about to come out, but I actually met him in a Facebook group. I think it was the Every Time I Die, the ETID, the ETidiots group, or it might have been Mathcore Index.
Idiots.
It was one of those groups where we met Ben. He had posted some art, and I hit him up, and I said, hey, dude, we would love for you to do our album art. And then I think it took him one try. Like, he was just like, hey, what about this? I told him that we wanted to go for like a Jacob Bannon Converge, like pay homage to Jane Doe. And he nailed it. He crushed it. He sent us one thing, and I was like, well, that's it. That's the album artwork.
yeah, it's nice. Is it like supposed to be
I
a
think,
blindfold on her, or what is that supposed to
It's aluminum foil over her eyes.
Okay, I can see that too. All right. Why aluminum foil? Seems like an odd choice.
I don't know. We'd have to get Ben on this call. That was just
Like-
I'm
that
right
was
here.
his artistic direction.
Right.
Well, it looks really good. I really.
Yeah, it's killer. I think it was like an Instagram post, and they were like, maybe show us something kind of like it. And then like he showed us those things like, man, that first one's so cool though. And luckily he was just like, yeah, y'all can have it. I was like, awesome.
Nice. So you also did a few music videos for The Locust Preacher, Medusa, and Torture Ship. Torture Ship. And gonna be showing Locust Preacher while we're talking about him. If I can start. There we go. So what was the inspiration behind this video?
Which one are we talking about? Locust
This
Preacher?
is Locust Preacher, yeah.
It's the only.
Yeah. Locust Preacher was kind of Crow's brainchild on this one, so I'll let her explain that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like you come up with a certain kind of idea, and then everybody just chimes in and kind of picks at it until it's a little bit different from what you expected it would be. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's kind of like the song I wrote it about. Since I was a kid, I had trouble with sleep paralysis. And it wasn't until I want to say a couple of years ago that I started realizing that that's what was happening to me. As you can imagine, being a kid and just being terrified almost every single night, not knowing what was happening to you, thinking that your house was haunted or thinking somebody was watching you.
That's what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure at first. So you saw a figure or something standing over your bed? Is that what the video was?
There were times when I did see the shadow figures or whatever, and I saw the red eyes and stuff like that. But for me, a lot of it was sounds, basically. So I'd be laying down, and then I would hear footsteps walking up to me, and then I would, look and couldn't see anything. Obviously, there was nothing there. But, as far as I know, and then, as an adult looking back, it's wow, it's just, you just feel so vulnerable in that position. And so that's something that I definitely wanted to, just write a song about, basically. And then the video is kind of very loosely based on that.
Well, it's fucking awesome. I know another
thank
guy.
you.
I don't know if y'all know the dude behind Methwitch. You know Methwitch?
I don't think so.
No. Okay. Well, he goes through similar stuff. So that's crazy though. When did you stop having sleep terrors?
I'll still have them. I want to say my most recent one was probably a few months ago, but it's not as bad when you know what's happening to you, for sure. If you don't know what's happening to you and you're trying to fight it, it's just going to keep happening over and over. But it got to the point where I started saying, okay, well, this is what's going on, and this is how I can make it stop happening. So it doesn't happen as much, but yeah, it used to be when I was a kid, at least from what I remember, it felt like it was almost every single night. I didn't really sleep that much when I was a kid, so.
Do you believe
Probably
in
have some
ghosts?
developmental issues. I do, actually, I do. Yeah.
Is it because of those experiences, or is it just is it something else?
It might. I think it might be. I think about it sometimes because as a kid, I think that I did convince myself that a lot of things that were just probably actually trauma were, like haunted houses or like ghosts or just something that was affecting me from like some sort of supernatural reality. So I'm constantly in this trying to make this decision about whether or not, I really do think something supernatural was at play, or if it was just a bad memory that I tried to explain to myself in a more understandable way when I was a kid.
Do you other guys believe in ghosts?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say like I grew up in this like house that some really weird stuff happened, and I actually had sleep paralysis a lot while when I was a kid in that house. And my first reaction was that it was ghosts. It was like it felt like somebody is holding you down in your bed, and like you can't move, you can't scream. So that's always what I thought it was. I'm still not too sure. They say it's like the line between like lucid dreaming and all this stuff, but I don't know the science behind it.
I still sleepwalk a lot, and I'll find myself in the middle of the night like trying to turn on a light switch and wake up by like my hand banging up against the wall, and then you've no fucking clue where you are whenever you wake up like that. So I kind of
I've never
understand what y'all are
slept walk.
talking
That
about,
sounds
but-
so scary.
Dude, it is. It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
So you did another one for I think the next one. Yeah. For Medusa. This one is my favorite one that y'all did. Who came up with this idea?
This was a crazy one because we actually had a whole different concept in the beginning. We wanted to do like an 80s aerobics video for it.
Okay.
And just make it fun and lighthearted and not so dark. And then it turned into this like psychological thriller horror film, basically.
How would
So-
an 80s one work though? Like, how does that relate to this song?
Well,
Who wasn't gonna?
Yeah, we just
That's
wanted
why he
something
went away
that was
from it.
gonna
I
just
got
be-
it's like we just wanted to have something fun and goofy, but it turned into what it is. Like we couldn't find a good location. We were gonna have
Yeah,
like sort of like skeezy aerobics guy who's cheating people out of money and just kind of make it campy and fun, but it didn't work out.
I mean,
You know,
this
it was
one's
hard
still
to get
pretty
a
fun,
gym
though.
during COVID. COVID kind of ruined a lot of our ideas.
That was something else I was gonna mention. In both of these videos, there's no mask being worn or anything like that. Like, what's the deal with like what kind of restrictions did y'all have to do for these? Did y'all
Yeah,
just
so
say,
we
"Fuck
had
it," and do it?
everybody on set. No, everybody on set was wearing masks other than being on camera. So everyone was pretty spread out in the bar scenes where we were. It looks like everybody's close together, but we really weren't.
That's when vaccines were starting up too.
Yeah.
So a lot, like some people were vaccinated that were on set.
Yeah, a lot of us were getting vaccinated at the moment, like in Louisiana.
Record
Sorry,
Yite
I'll
in chat
interrupt.
is asking if y'all are vaccinated.
Yes.
I'm working on
We
it.
are all vaccinated, yeah.
We're all just like rearing to go. Like as soon as we were able to, we all went and got it because we're just ready to like.
Are y'all
Get out on the
getting
road and shit. I got
Do
it,
it.
man. You're ready
Do
echo
for
from
it.
me or anything? Are you?
What's
Because I
up?
just had to take my headphones. Are y'all getting any kind of echo from me or anything? I had to take my headphones out.
No, you sound good.
Not
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
I guess we should. Okay, so you also did a more performance video for Torture Ship. That one was a while back though, correct?
Yeah, we did that in
right.
2019. Yeah.
2020 actually is when it was up. But I guess you could.
2020? Okay.
Yeah. So I don't understand. Like, you have Blacklight Media Records on some of these. You've got Metal Blade Records like up. So are you signed by Blacklight or Metal Blade? How does that work? Are they a
both.
sub? Are they subsidiary?
Yeah, Blacklight's
Okay.
a subsidiary of Metal Blade.
Okay, sounds good.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do they do for you, and what does Metal Blade do for you? You know what I mean?
Oh, we work with both teams. So with Blacklight, we work with Matt Bacon and Chris Santos directly, and with Metal Blade, we have a whole ton of people that we work with. And I mean, they get us out to places that we probably couldn't reach at this point. They set us up with vinyl. They set us up with shows sometimes. So
Set us up with a lot of interviews.
A lot of interviews, yeah. And they further our reach just farther than we could get it.
How many interviews have y'all done so
Metal
far?
Blade.
1,000.
For real?
I tell you.
So many. I do at least 5 to 10 a week.
Jesus Christ, I didn't think it was that many. Are y'all sick of it by now?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Think you're sick of me right now?
No.
For me, it gets easier. Like every interview I do, it's like I'm a little bit more comfortable. So I actually like don't hate them as much as I did right when we first started.
You kind of
really
have your down to where you're able to just like, oh, here's the same question again. Let's just,
Right, I was thinking.
like this is actually kind of cool. This is the first interview all four of us ever done together.
Right.
Yeah,
This like if it's a video or an audio interview, I pretty much have fun with it. They do send us a lot of interviews that are just text based that we have to type out and write.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that I'm mainly sick of.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I have a project of my own, the Sound That Ends Creation, and I've done text-based ones, and it's just not interesting at all, man. It's actually for me, it was hard to find like podcasts, and now that I'm doing this podcast and I hear how many other people have done, I've found so many of them. I had no idea that this all existed.
Yeah, podcasts are always fun, especially when we know each other and we're all in the same groups and talk about the same things.
So your album's doing extremely well. I think y'all at least got close to 10,000 streams on release day. What was the number that y'all got?
I haven't even seen the number yet. I know that it's great. I think on the Medusa video we're at like almost 7,000. As far as Spotify goes, though, it takes a little while for those numbers to roll in, so I haven't seen all of that yet.
On YouTube, it's 4.9K on the album. It's on YouTube.
Very cool.
I think I looked at it on Spotify for artists. I think it was close to 10,000 on Spotify. Either way, it's really good. Y'all are killing it. Like doing really well. What have y'all been hearing though? What's the reaction been so far?
Mostly good. Everybody, has written kind words. I got a ton of messages from people, close friends, just congratulating and saying, "Oh, I almost killed my cat moshing in my living room," and that's very cool.
I must have missed that one.
That was a direct message.
Y'all were telling me before we got started that y'all sold out of the vinyl?
Yeah, the US variant is completely gone. The pink and black splatter sold out day one, which is thank you all. Thanks everybody for ordering it.
Are y'all on track to be charting?
I hope so. There's supposed to be a meeting this week, and we're gonna get all the stats and the information, and we'll see how that goes. I think it's too early. We released on Friday, so everybody takes the weekend off, and we'll see how it goes next week.
Hell yeah, man. I hope that happens for you. So, you guys signed to Metal Blade and Blacklight pretty much out of nowhere. Like, I had no idea who you guys were or anything. How did y'all manage to do that? I mean, it's one of the biggest labels in the world.
Yeah.
Well, we were in talks with it for a long time. Like, we had kind of talked before about how we had recorded the first 8 tracks in 2019, and then we've been sitting on this album talking to Metal Blade, trying to like work out the details. The reason we have the Torture Ship video was recorded so early is because it was part of our pitch. Like, we were like, what if we just record a banging album, shoot a music video, have it set up, have so much to like kind of offer them, so it's easy for them to start running with us. And they took it. It was like we didn't think we were going to get this. We were pitching, we were kind of shooting really high, see if there's any interest. And then kind of we're already working on like other labels if it didn't work out.
So y'all didn't like know anybody, or did anybody see y'all playing shows and like recommend y'all, or how did that happen? Like,
Yeah, we had
and said, hey, sign us?
We had a manager at the time Oh, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
We had been talking to Matt Bacon for a long time. He was kind of managing us for a little while, and he's the one that really put our foot in the door with Chris Santos and Brian Slagle of Metal Blade. And then after we recorded this album, we had a different vocalist before Crow, and so we didn't have any music out with Crow, which is why we released Torture Ship and Paper Tongues EP. So we released that with the video to kind of pitch and shoot it around to labels, and it's just amazing that they liked the songs and they liked everything that we sent them. So we knew we wanted to work with them right off the bat.
Yeah, we were also.
Sick. That is awesome, man. Oh my god.
It is kind of like coming out of nowhere though. Like we dropped an EP, we dropped a music video, and then bam, it's Metal Blade Records.
Right? Holy crap.
Stars kind of aligned, and it was like, we know a guy that's kind of in with Metal Blades. We have an album, we have a video, and like we had COVID gave us the time to kind of go through all the details with him.
How big of a party were y'all hoping you could throw whenever you got signed? Obviously you can't, but like y'all must have been like so freaking excited and still excited.
I think we got together and had cake.
No.
Oh yeah.
What
yeah,
kind of cake?
There was a cake.
I don't even remember.
You don't remember?
Birthday cake.
Birthday cake. Alrighty, I like it.
Yeah, it was like a birthday cake.
Confetti.
But that was the only form of celebration we could really do. And then we sat on it even longer, just hoping that we could tour with it, hoping we could have like an album release party. And that was out of the cards as well. So whenever we finally do get to play shows, we're going to have multiple album release parties. We're going to play that show. We're going to play an album release tour. And it's just going to be a whole big celebration.
Hell yeah.
Pent up.
Party all the time.
So y'all think you'll maybe be touring at the end of the year, or is this gonna be like a next year thing?
We're booking it now. We're placing holds on dates and hoping for the best with it.
Yeah.
Sweaty Yetis. Oh, sorry. What's up?
Sorry, I was just saying, trying to stay positive.
Gotcha.
Hoping for the best.
Sweaty Yetis asking, do you all have pets? I see that Tyler and Jeremy have dogs. How about you?
I got a little doggy right here. Yeah, this is Nora.
Oh yeah.
Got one of four right here.
She loves being on camera.
Crow, where's your pet?
My rat died a couple of months ago.
You had a rat?
I did. I had her for years and years. She was my baby.
As a pet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. More power
that's
to
my
you.
bestie.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Big boy.
Oh, you got 2 dogs. Look at you. All righty.
Yeah,
This is Herman.
I have 4 total. So there's another cat over there who's not gonna come see me.
So you're the crazy cat guy then?
I got 2 cats, 2 dogs.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah, that balances it out.
Hold up. I'm gonna show you my messy apartment, but I'm gonna try and show them.
Aw.
There's Fawn and Jet's over there in their bed, and there's the other cat over there.
So you guys have been like killing it on the promotion front. One of the things I really liked is how y'all did or Crow at least did a D&D stream through Metal Blade. I didn't get to actually see it, but I got this awesome picture up on there now. You did some cosplay.
Yeah, some light cosplay.
Light cosplay, yeah. You have like full on armor and makeup and shit.
Waist up, so it was like diet cosplay.
Dude, that's so sick though. It is such a good idea for promotion. Like I said, I didn't get to see it, but did you have a good time doing this?
It's the highlight of my life, and it's all downhill from here.
That's awesome.
That's such an amazing picture.
It is.
It's great. Oh my gosh.
What were you supposed to be, like a warrior or something?
I was a half orc barbarian.
Half orc barbarian, alrighty. How'd you make the like armor and stuff?
The armor is made out of like a big sheet of foam that I had to cut down and use like a gun to form. On the inside, it's like plastic, so that way it didn't just break down when I sweat in it for like 12 cumulative hours.
Jeremy, we're starting to hear a little bit of the audio come back again, but if you could mute when you're not talking. It's all good, man. It's all good.
He's just chilling.
Is the D&D thing an ongoing thing, or is it just like the one-time stream?
We had kind of like talked about like, you know, what it could mean and as far as like, you know, future whatever stuff, but I'm not exactly sure where it stands. I will say, however, that I am still in contact with a lot of the people that I was involved with at that, like, you know, during that stream, and we're actually all pretty close now, so that's nice.
Dude, that's sick. I'm so surprised that Metal Blade would do something like that, but that is such a good idea for promotion. That's so good.
Super fun and super cool. And it was my first D&D campaign, and it was like the best way to have your first D&D campaign for sure.
Record Yike says, y'all rip, keep it up. Cricket Slam says, kill the release, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So speaking about cool promotion, shows are one of like the biggest drivers in terms of getting your name out there. Now they're not happening. What should bands be doing to get their name out there?
A lot. It's a lot of work. You know, you got to be really aggressive on social media these days. We weren't really into the live stream idea, but we did do it, and it did help a lot. So I think live streams. I think live streams are good for the time. I don't really see them keeping up too much, but definitely just attack social media and you got to almost jam it down people's throats.
I was listening to some guys that talk about like music business and stuff on YouTube, and they were saying that they were thinking that live streams might stay, but it won't be like as it's a concert experience. It'll be more like a show, like an actual show. Do you think that could be something that happens, or do you think it's just gone and people are just going to go back to regular shows?
I heard about the possibility of like a hybrid kind of like shows going on. So they're saying some venues are going to want to have like the camera equipment that they can actually live stream the show to people who like maybe because of certain restrictions weren't able to get a ticket. So they'll have like a limited number of people in the crowd, and then everybody who couldn't be there physically will be able to like see it online. I think that's a really good idea. And I think that's a pretty good idea, even like regardless of restrictions at all. So they're just because of people like say across the country or whatever that want to see a really big show that aren't able to see it. It'd be nice for them to have that option.
There were a couple of festivals I've done that in the past. I don't remember which one, but I definitely saw some from Europe a couple of years ago. So that's a really good idea.
Yeah, it's very cool. I've seen a few shows that before COVID that were live streamed just in different cities that, you know, I felt like I got to attend just by watching it online. So I think it's a very good idea.
What about other things that bands should be doing? Is there like anything weird that y'all did to get a lot of traction? Anything that you didn't think about?
I think PR is like one of the biggest things that bands fail to do. Dropping any sort of release, any sort of music video, you really got to reach out to like PR companies, get them to post it out to the larger scale media. It's hard to get on any sort of media sites without paying, and it sucks that you have to pay, but they do put your music out there further.
Okay. So y'all didn't have much of a hand in actual promotion. It was more like the PR group handled it.
No, I mean, we do, you know, they send us certain things that we need to post and at what time and things like that. We'll share posts where it's like, you know, they're doing it on their socials and we want it to all be connected. So we'll do those kind of cross posts every now and then, but otherwise we just try to post every single day on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and try to engage with our audience. We try to like every comment. We try to comment back to those. If you message us, we're going to message you back within a certain time frame. It's just little things like that that keep your fans coming back for more.
I've been in that situation before, and I know it's hard to come up with a post every single day, man. Like, have y'all done any like really stupid posts just to get it out of the way for the day? What's the dumbest one you've done?
I think we shared a meme maybe one time, but it was really hard to get content.
Dude, memes are the content. Memes are the content.
I just feel weird about posting memes on our social media pages, on our band pages. And it's fine every now and then to do something funny like that.
Yeah.
I just want to stay current with what we're doing, and we've been doing a lot, so it's been easier now. But during quarantine, it was very hard to get content. We weren't playing shows. We didn't have any videos, so we had to create our own. We would have to record our practices, do photo shoots, any sort of interview or press. We would screenshot that. We just try to find ways outside of the box to create content.
Yeah, if you could find your cool friend with a camera and get them to take a bunch of pictures of you and just you have a new picture to post or whatever, and just makes it a little more fresh. Here's another something you haven't seen or whatever.
So you guys have played a bunch of shows, been around for a long time. What's the best show you've had?
We've played with some really cool bands. I don't know about the best show. Best show. Anybody else want to go? Because I'm going to think about this for a second.
I think that just as far as like the best show with like us, Capra, like I think that show we did with Callous Cowboys was really like just the energy was really, really incredible.
That was an awesome show.
Everybody was like, it was like everyone was fully prepared to like just absolutely go crazy. Like everybody left their inhibitions at the door at that show. It was just really, really awesome. Really like kind of like intimate, if that makes any sense. And just the energy was like super, super invigorating.
Yeah, it was back to back. It was us and then Callous Cowboys, and it was just relentless. Like the crowd never stopped. That was a great show.
Dude, I love the Callous Cowboys.
They're so good.
Carson's an awesome.
And they're all
too.
super nice people. Yeah, super.
I think Carson did like 3 front flips into the crowd that night. Like it was wild.
That was a very cool one.
What about y'all's worst show?
We played a show one time it was for somebody's birthday party, and it was outside in their backyard, and it was on a trailer bed was the stage.
That was
okay.
When we showed up, it was like 2 dudes with their like 2 50-year-old guys with their shirts off, and they were rapping back and forth to each other.
Okay.
And like none of the bands on the bill made sense, and it was us and like some indie bands and some folk bands and some rappers, and it was like, do we really want to do this? I mean, we ended up having a good time, but it was just one of the weirdest.
Yeah, it was fun, but it was weird.
Worst. I think that was the worst show.
What about you guys?
That person whose birthday party it was is like, wow, Tyler.
I know. I'm so sorry.
You're not invited.
Like, really? My birthday?
I'm so sorry.
It was like cool in its own. It was probably just more the weird one. It wasn't necessarily like a bad show. It was just kind of weird.
Which one of the 50-year-old guys without a shirt? Which one of them had their birthday that day?
Neither. It was just some random dudes in the backyard. The birthday party was for a female friend of ours, and I really hope she's not watching right now. I'm so sorry that I said that, but it was weird.
Y'all ever have a show where y'all like got into some trouble, or maybe at fights with other bands and stuff like that? Anything like that happen?
We never really fought with a band. It's usually promoters, and we'll leave it at
yeah.
I don't think we've ever like openly feuded with any band. Most bands we're cool with. Anytime.
No, we have. We've feuded with a band.
You.
Not me.
I
before I joined, I had feuds.
Okay,
Like,
I did. I feuded with another band.
This was pre-important Capra. Before me and Crow came, Capra wasn't it.
Yeah, we've gotten into it with promoters, that just refuse to pay us, and promoters that don't put everything up front on the table, and then we've gotten into it on social media with other bands just kind of talking trash, which we don't do anymore. We kind of let that stuff go.
Well, now you can just be like, "Hey, we're signing to Metal Blade, bitch,"
Yeah, somebody in the comments said that.
We don't really
in the comments said I'm guilty, and I am guilty of it.
What's your what promoter story is like the worst one that y'all had to deal with?
So we had a guy book a show. It was with us and a few other bands, and then he had gone up to Jeremy at the end of the show. Jeremy was asking him like how he did, and he lied, said that he had already paid us, and he hadn't paid us at anything, and tried to leave the show. And later on, ended up saying that we tried to jump him and we tried to chase him down with bats and cars, and none of that is true. So we caught
trying
up
to
with
jump him and then escalating by saying, he tried to chase him down, and then escalated more saying he used a car and tried to chase him. The fuck?
Right. This is all part of the same story. This was a promoter that was also in a band, and then the band and I got into some feuds together.
So it's really you and a promoter feuding, not you and the whole band then.
Right.
Okay.
Well, their whole band doesn't like us now because we feuded with him as a promoter.
Gotcha.
Please tell us about every fight you've ever gotten in right now. 30 seconds, go. No.
God. I don't know.
Yeah, like ultimately, if it all boiled down to like if the dude, what it was is like he there were some bands on the bill that had a guarantee, but he never told us there was a guarantee. He wasn't upfront about any of that kind of stuff. So it turned into this whole mess of basically, like, if you're a promoter, be upfront with every band, tell them all your details, tell them exactly what you want, and you won't ever have problems.
And don't lie about paying.
Yeah, don't lie about stuff. Don't start stuff online, and that's it.
Easy peasy.
Should be.
It should be.
The other question about shows I had was what your weirdest one was, but I guess it's the trailer one, right?
The trailer's my weirdest show. Yeah.
Can anybody beat that?
Give me a second to think on it.
While you're thinking about that, how do you dress your hot dogs?
I'm a chili cheese and onions kind of guy.
Excellent question.
Yeah, we just had a viewer that kept asking all the bands this, so I was just like, fuck it, we'll make it a tradition.
Everything, dude. Everything. I put everything on my hot, except for relish. That's just weird.
You put like spaghetti on your hot dogs?
I'll put spaghetti on my hot dog.
Goddamn hot dog.
You guys are weird.
I'll for sure put spaghetti on a hot dog. I'll put
all right, so here's
typically
another
chili
question.
cheese.
That some of you might be
like imaginable. Chili cheese, of course. And like, I don't know, tomatoes sometimes. Dude, we had this place. Okay, my last job, we had this hot dog that was like.
I hear Jeremy's phone again.
And they put like every veggie on. It was like tomatoes and like all kind of. It was like a taco hot. Dude, I'll.
Can I ask you a question, Chris?
Yeah, what's up?
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I would think so, yeah. Got like a bun, like meat in the middle and stuff, right? Is that the definition for sandwich? I really don't know.
Is it a sandwich or is it like a bread taco?
It's not. I don't think it's that deep. I don't think it's that deep.
It'd be
It's a
more
po'
bread
boy.
taco than sandwich, but I feel
Why can't
like
we have
it's
both?
kind of the same thing.
Why can't we have both?
It's a po' boy.
It's a po' boy.
It's a
I don't know what that is.
What about you, Jeremy? What you put on your hot dog?
Mustard, ketchup, onions, chili, cheese.
Choo!
Nice.
Yeah, everything but the
Loaded.
kitchen sink.
I like how you had that just on the top of your head, just ready to like drop that off.
Yeah, dude, I'm ready.
Fucking nice. So what was the last album you guys listened to?
By Drug
Enforced.
Church. Sorry.
What was that?
I said Cheer by Drug Church.
All right. Never listened to them. What kind of music?
Kind of like alt punk. It's like they were heavily influenced by the Pixies, but they're more aggressive than the Pixies. So somewhere in between like alternative and like punk.
Okay.
Yeah. They're cool though.
Mine's Isolation, the Harm's Way EP. That's the one I have. I've been having that in my car since it like came out, and I still listen to it like over and over and over.
Dude,
Still
Harm's
not
Way
over it.
sick. They put out a new EP?
Yeah. No, that one's like old. That one's like super
Oh,
old.
gotcha.
Well, I don't
Okay,
say
okay.
Super old because they're not super old, but it's like it's just
Crow
so
doesn't
good.
listen to new music.
I do listen to new music. Where did this bizarre rumor start? Harm's Way is new-ish. Like the entirety of their existence is pretty, comparatively new.
What about you, Tyler? What was the last one you listened to?
I don't even know the name of the album, but it's the new Enforced record. It's not even out yet. I work in radio, so I got a hold of it, and it is phenomenal. I can't tell you where this band's from, but it's incredible thrash.
Okay. What about you, Jeremy?
The last album I've listened to was at work Friday, and it was a Kanye West album. Jesus.
Just waiting for it. Just waiting for it.
Well, what about your albums of the year, either for last year or at this point to this year?
Last year, my album of the year has to go to End. It was hard to separate either End, Loathe, or Gulch, but End, I think, took the cake for me in just terms of hardcore albums.
Dude, End is freaking sick. It was really hard to figure out a best album for last year. There's so many of them.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I think mine was Ronin by Rotting Out. That was
I never listened to them, but I've heard the name so many times.
Dude, I didn't listen to them until last year, and then like my Spotify recommends kept giving me the song, so I started spinning that one on repeat.
Are they hardcore?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, dude's got crazy vocals, man. Like it's almost like imagine like the singer for AC/DC, but put him in a hardcore band.
Huh.
It's like it's kind of crazy. Like at first, it takes a minute to like get used to it, but I really like it. Like after hearing it enough times.
Yeah. What about you, Crow?
Mine's that it's definitely Self Surgery by Mrs. Piss. They're like the sickest, like they're so cool. I mean, I definitely recommend them. Like I like Chelsea Wolfe a lot, and I want to say that like, well, it's like her side project for those people who don't know, and it's like I want to say like a sludgier kind of vibe than her like actual like solo stuff.
I love that name, Mrs. Piss. It's almost
know,
like
so
if you
good.
named your band after like a goat god that had like dogs from a video game.
Mrs. Piss. Yeah.
Come
Doesn't
here,
have the
Mrs.
same
Piss.
doesn't have the same ring though. So yeah. Jeremy, what about you?
Portrayal of Guilt.
Dude, fuck
Oh,
yeah, man.
Killer album.
That was a sick one.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. I
just
almost
love that
want to
guy's
change my
vocals.
answer.
So you guys have an insane amount of merch. You got a ton of shirts, tons of CDs, wall flags, posters, patches, hats, and vinyl. And how many variants of vinyl? It's like 3 of them, right?
Yeah, we got 3. We got a pink and black splatter. We have a yellow and black dust, and then we have a gray marble.
We only have 2 variants now.
2 left.
Available, yeah.
Pink Splatter's gone.
You got any cool merch you can show us?
Yeah, I got let's see.
Reach into the bucket.
We've got 2 hats. We've got 2 hats right here. One in the purple and one in the white. Let's see.
Are those dad hats
Brand
or
new-
trucker hats?
They're trucker hats / dad hats. So we've got this new album on CD. We've got some cool patches, and then I got a ton of shirts. Here's one of them. You can see this is called "The Future Is Now." This is the Future Is Now shirt on our Bandcamp. We got a ton of cool ones. Here's another one, the Orange Dune. You can find all of these on our Bandcamp.
That's definitely a fan fave. I feel like that one
Yeah,
always
Dude, I've never
Yeah, the
like
orange.
part of
crazy.
a band with a shirt that's sold as well as the Orange Doom. People are crazy about the Orange
Dude, it
Doom.
looks sick. It looks
It's-
really good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It
looks
smells
amazing.
out.
I
Yeah,
wish I could wear it, but I'm in the band, so I'm not that guy.
yeah. We're on our
Dude, I wear
second.
it. I wear it all the time. I don't
Dude,
care.
hell yeah.
We're on our second print of that one. So, and they're going quick. So we're gonna probably order those again.
The Ham Slayer in chat asks, when you guys were starting out learning your craft, did you guys ever imagine being able to contend with your influences in terms of the quality of music you put out?
It's a good question.
Absolutely.
You did? You thought,
Definitely.
I could be just like that, or I could be better than that?
I
Yeah,
don't think-
absolutely.
I don't think I think when I was younger, I never imagined it. But even as I get older, even when like I find myself, I don't want to sound jaded, but like I'm not as impressed because I can hear songs. I'm like, oh, I know how they did that. Like when you're younger and you don't know as much about how to play an instrument, everything seems so much more mystical. But the more you learn your instrument, the more you're like, I see how the pieces fit.
True.
And like,
For sure.
Yeah.
And when you're practicing and when you're learning how to write songs and stuff like that, like you're growing to a level. Like you want to get to the level that they're on, and you also want to surpass that. So I've always just shot past the moon, through the stars, and I just want to be on their level, you know? I want to be above their level. One day I want Every Time I Die to open for us.
Dude, you need to chill.
Yeah.
you need to chill.
Oh my god.
Hey, I said it.
It's a good way to get them to hate us.
No, they love us. We love them.
The Ham Slayer says, "Fucking right on, it's working."
Hell yeah.
That's such a great attitude
Thanks.
to have.
Thank you, Ham Slayer.
Cool name.
Sweaty Yeti says, "Dream big, I guess. Go off, I guess."
That's right.
Yeah, that's a cool name.
Oh,
I like the names in this
Get it,
chat.
I
They got some
guess.
cool names.
That's right.
Where exactly can people get your merch? Or what's the best place? The most benefit to you?
The
Bandcamp.
benefit to us is, Bandcamp. So it's bandcamp.com or capraband.bandcamp.com
Okay.
would be the best place.
And y'all have, like, I've seen a lot of bands putting out vinyl through, like, blogs and stuff like that. Are y'all doing that?
Not yet, but probably.
Well, like, Pupil Slicer had Revolver put out a variant of their vinyl. So I didn't know if Metal Blade had a thing like that going on with you guys. I didn't see it anywhere, but I was just curious.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not a problem.
Gotcha.
Might
Thanks for
have
dropping that link, by the way. People in chat.
Oh, yeah.
Link to the Bandcamp's in chat now. So yeah, it's about all I had. Unless you had something else I wanted to bring up.
No, we have a lot of announcements to make that we can't make yet. So I would just say to stay tuned. Keep your eyes peeled.
Hell yeah. So if you wake up in the morning and find out you're out of coffee, it's all good. Just turn on In Transmission, the Ferocious album from Capra, which came out last Friday on Metal Blade Records and Blacklight Media. You guys are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Bandcamp, all the streaming platforms, and you got some sick videos on Metal Blade Records YouTube channel. Are there any other social plugs I'm missing?
We have a TikTok that we don't use. I think it's
Oh,
the
you
same
use
thing.
TikTok, dude. I've been wondering
Yeah.
about getting into TikTok. So it's crap, then, is what you're telling me.
I don't like it. I can't stand it.
I love it, dude.
Yeah, me and Crow are addicted to TikTok.
Yeah.
Really?
So it's kind of
it's basically just Instagram, right?
No.
No.
No, I love Instagram.
Fine.
nah.
If you were
Well,
into Vine,
it's
you'd
like
probably
all
be into
videos.
TikTok.
Okay, so what do you like post on TikTok?
Oh, whatever I can. I try to remember to do it. I'm really bad at it. At first, we were bad at Twitter, and then we added TikTok, and now I'm pretty good at Twitter and really bad at TikTok. So we just post little 15-second clips. I mean, there's some funny ones on there. There's some serious ones on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you follow us on TikTok, that'd be cool. We don't use it that much, though.
Alrighty, follow him on TikTok, and it's Capra Band everywhere, right?
That's right.
As for me, drop my channel, follow so you always know when I go live. You can also sub to get access to some exclusive emotes, as well as access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and other streaming services. You can also sub for free by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, which gets you one free sub a month, and you can give it to me. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube folks, if you like the video, drop a like, tickle the notification bell, and don't forget to subscribe. It's a great way to support me for free. Find my music, the sound that check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation, at thesoundthatenscreation.bandcamp.com. My next guest is Georgia-based emo violence band Apostle, who dropped a sick EP back in April the 2nd. Join us this Wednesday the 28th right here at twitch.tv/thecastthatenscreation for the live cast. Thank you all for being here. I hope you had a good time.
Thank you
Great
so
time.
much. This was fun.
Thanks.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Hell yeah. And thank you guys for watching, and we'll see.